to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby?
Here.
Councilmember Burkett?
Here.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Here.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Here.
Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember Stanger?
Here.
Councilmember Quinn.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
I move for approval of the journal of the meeting of December 3rd, 2013.
Second.
All in favor? Excuse me, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The journal is approved. Bid openings, we have no bid openings this evening, so we will move to communications.
Madam Chair, there are no tax compromises, zoning matters, or road and bridge matters this evening, so move to other communications. Under other communications, item number 1, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 2, first district.
Same motion.
So ordered.
Item number 3.
Receive, excuse me, receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
Item number 4, fifth district.
Same motion.
So ordered.
Item number 5.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 8, and that will be the order.
Item number 9, first district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of this report be sent to the city of Normandy.
So ordered.
Item number 10, seventh district.
Receive, file, and county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation and make that same motion through item number 12.
So ordered. Please read the add-ons.
Under zoning matters, item number 1, sixth district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
And under other communications, item number 1, fourth district.
Receive, file, and refer to the county executive for review and response.
So ordered.
Item number 2, fourth district.
Do you have the newest one, Mike?
All right, thank you. I didn't have that one. Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered. Mr. County Executive, do you have a report?
Yeah, a couple of items I want to speak to. First of all, I do want to compliment the board on the action with the Boeing Corporation on yesterday evening, Monday evening. Everybody came together and we had a good meeting, and so we're very much appreciative. I know it's a short notice for everybody to get together. Everybody hung in there, and we got a good report, so I think all of you come together with that. The second thing is I think I got 2 appointees for the police commission tonight. I will hope they get the opportunity to vote on those individuals tonight. I think it's important that we move rather fast so we can get a quorum. We've been without a quorum for quite some time, so we need a quorum to conduct business. So I will hope that we do that. And third, tonight is on our budget process, on our procedures for our budgetary things. We hope that we can perfect the budget tonight and move forward. We think we presented you with an outstanding budget. It's balanced, and it represents, I think, is the things strategically that we need to look at as we go forward in all our districts. So again, I hope that we can work together to move this thing forward in a very positive way. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, we have reports of special committees. There are no reports of special committees this evening, so we'll move to the public forum. Jen is going to handle the calling of the names. There's approximately, about 13 speakers, and we just ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. So Jen, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Our first speaker this evening is Tom Sullivan, and he will be followed by Margaret Johnson.
Madam Chair and members of the council, the nomination of Bob Baer to the St. Louis County Police Board is a very bad choice. He should never be approved by this council. If the goal is to restore credibility and confidence to the County Police Board, Mr. Baer is not the person. His record precedes him and provides ample proof why he should never again be placed in a position of public trust. It should also be a concern that John Temporiti and Mike Jones are good friends and political associates of Bob Baer. Mr. Baer even hired John Temperiti when he was at Unigroup. They lived 4 houses from each other in Sunset Hills. Having Bob Baer on the police board would open the police department up to all kinds of political interference. Some of Bob Baer's record includes the following. He was on the St. Louis Police Board when he lived in the city. He was involved with closing down many neighborhood police stations and spending millions on superstations, infuriating both public officials and citizens. Bob Baer's record at the Metropolitan Sewer District was awful. A few highlights. One of the first things he did was reshuffle the bond underwriting team a previous board had selected. I have given you considerable information on this. At the time, Bob Baer was on the board of Stlcc Financial Corporation and owned Stlcc stock. This is the firm that was given a greater amount of business. The cost of the South County treatment plant went out of control, which started at $46 million, ended up at $230 million. Tens of millions of dollars were wasted on no-bid consulting contracts. A record $48.1 million of consulting contracts was approved at just one meeting. Some consultants were paid to oversee other consultants. The $4.7 billion that the people in this area will have to pay to meet clean water standards can be directly attributed to when Bob Baer was the MSD chairman. He was asleep at the switch, and the executive director he handpicked was incompetent. Bob Baer was appointed as Metro CEO in December 2007. It wasn't surprising that the public was completely shut out of the selection process. The conflicts of interest and cronyism continued. In 2009, while still the CEO of Metro, Bob Baer sold 13,842 of his 28,093 shares of Stlcc stock for $470,662. A few months before, Stlcc Nicklaus was awarded business from Metro on a no-bid basis. So he owned about $1 million of stock at the same time Stlcc was getting business from Metro. Bob Baer is a bad choice for the St. Louis County Police Board. To approve him would be a slap in the face to every member of the St. Louis County Police Department. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next speaker is Margaret Johnson, and Ms. Johnson will be followed by Nick Kassoff.
Good evening. I'm Margaret Johnson. I live at 7509 Gannon in University City, and I'm here to ask you to support Complete Streets legislation. A defining element of American culture is change. Individual citizens and the cities we inhabit adjust to the realities of demands of our time. In recent years, citizens and city leaders around our country have recognized that our car culture has become a liability. Traffic is strangling our cities, citizens are becoming unhealthy due to lack of exercise, and the all-important eyes on the street has become a thing of the past. A movement has arisen to address these realities, and it is embodied in Complete Streets legislation. Many people desire to walk or bicycle to work or to other destinations. Parents want their children to have safe routes to school, and safe routes to school is in itself a movement very active in St. Louis County. Complete Streets simply requires that the county and its staff consider all modes of transportation during regular maintenance and upgrades. Obviously, some roads need to restrict non-vehicular traffic, but it's time to adjust our thinking and get on with changing our car culture to one that embraces pedestrians, bicyclists, parents pushing strollers, and people in wheelchairs. I personally walk and ride as much as possible for pleasure, exercise, and errands. Nothing is better, in my opinion, than a walk to Clayton for breakfast and lunch or a walk to the Loop in the library. I ride my bike to the library often at my slow puttering pace on what I call my city bike. I join friends for casual rides in Forest Park. And when I ride, I prefer bike lanes and other infrastructures where I can ride at my own pace and not be forced to ride faster or to get on the sidewalk because the vehicle traffic is too fast. There are long-term benefits to the county for passing Complete Streets. An article in the New York Times in May of 2012 reported on a Brookings Institute study that measures the values of commercial and residential real estate. The study found that real estate values increase as neighborhoods become more walkable. Eyes on the street, which I mentioned earlier, refers to people being out and about. And people are out and about when they can walk or bike. Safety goes up, crimes go down. Crime increases when there are no eyes to see it. So when we make walking and biking easier in the county will become safer. As communities across the country are moving to embrace multiple modes of transportation, it is imperative that St. Louis County change to fit the times. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Nick Kassoff, and after Nick Kassoff, Gene Hutchin.
The professionals of our highway department have an intimate knowledge of the transportation needs of this county. Complete Streets would take control of county roads out of their hands and give that control to the small group of special interests who wrote and are promoting this bill. That would be a complete catastrophe. Complete Streets will cost us a bundle, and a lot of that money will be spent on consultants and reports, on board meetings and staff time to meet the complicated requirements of this law. We'll also be spending it on lawyers' fees, because Complete Streets creates a protected class of minority road users. I'm a cyclist, I'm one of them. If you don't build a bike lane where I want it, I can sue you and claim you're violating my rights. But it's not just construction and planning. This bill requires equality in, and I quote, operation and maintenance. So now, instead of plowing the snow to the side of the street, where it buries the bike lanes and the sidewalks, you're gonna have to start plowing the bike lanes and the sidewalks as well, and find somewhere else to put all that snow. If you don't, pedestrians and cyclists might sue you. How much is that gonna cost the county? Complete Streets will also slam on the brakes for private development. That's because the bill applies to private streets and parking lots as well as county roads. Forcing every development to comply with these complicated rules will drive up costs and drive development out of St. Louis County. Supporters say we don't have to do every street right away. I guess they're hoping that you'll pass the bill without finding out what's in the bill. Because this bill requires that Complete Streets standards be met on every street when it's restriped or resurfaced. So you're gonna get a big bill, and you're gonna get it in a hurry. The bill also requires coordinating and receiving approval of all road plans from a whole bunch of entities. This includes municipalities, schools of all sorts, civic centers, metro, unspecified other high visitation facilities, and of course, Great Rivers Greenway, one of the groups that's backing this bill. How many county staff people is it going to take just to satisfy that one coordination requirement? If you want to handcuff our county highway department and bankrupt our county government, this is a terrific bill. If not, you should vote no. Passing Complete Streets would be a complete catastrophe for St. Louis County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Gene Hutchin, followed by Martin Payan.
I'm Gene Hutchins. I live at 9447 Radio Drive. I spoke last time about my opposition to Complete Streets. I'm here again. In the time that has elapsed, I drive regularly through the Afton area in the morning to do my morning chores and errands. And once again, I have nearly hit some bicyclists who choose to operate his bicycle without safety equipment like reflective gear, safety equipment like reflectors. And if people would enforce safety equipment requirements on bicycles, I'd feel a lot more comfortable about it. The idea of adding more bicyclists by Complete Streets to me is ridiculous. You ought to be requiring these people who want to ride their bicycles like that to have safety equipment, and they otherwise be certified like drivers of automobiles. I think it's frankly a waste of money. You're not going to replace the automobile, and you won't find thousands and thousands of people riding bicycles to work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Martin Payan, followed by Robert Mick.
Good evening. The November 19th minutes recorded that Phil Valco, Director of Sustainability at Washington University, St.
Could you
Louis.
speak up just a little bit, please?
I'll try. I got caned for that at school. Shall I start again, or did you hear any of it?
If you don't mind, you want to start his clock over?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you mind? Oh, thanks. I didn't even know there was a clock there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
All right,
The November.
Mr. Payan.
Thank you. The November 19th minutes recorded that Phil Valco, Director of Sustainability at Washington University, St. Louis, spoke in favor of SB for Bill 238, which I oppose. I knew Phil when he was TrailNet's Active Living Program Manager in Ferguson, and invited him home to lunch one time. I wanted to explore ways we might collaborate on bike transportation issues, and the conversation went well until we started talking about North Elizabeth Avenue. Phil said he wouldn't advocate anyone bicycling on that road because there was no room for bike lanes. That's when I realized that TrailNet and I were poles apart. In fact, I routinely bike home along Elizabeth from downtown Ferguson. It's a lovely country-like 25-mile-an-hour road, maintained by St. Louis County Highways and Traffic, tree-lined, and mainly residential except for Paul's Market. While it has narrow 11-foot lanes and barely any shoulder, it's generally no problem to bike along it. One rare exception for me was in 2004 when an aggressive SUV driver insisted on passing within inches, I mean inches, in lane, all the while blaring his horn. Fortuitously, I was wearing a helmet-mounted video camera and caught him on tape, which allowed me to identify his license plate. I've posted a detailed review of the incident online, including a clip from the video. I recommend you look at it. One of the lessons I learned from that unpleasant run-in was to bicycle further into the lane. I was tending to hug the shoulder at the time. Another was to control it when I judged it unsafe for a following motorist to pass, such as when approaching a blind bend, and then move right again once safe. This technique now has a name: control and release. This past spring, I bicycled up and down Elizabeth Avenue many times, practicing control and release while seeking yard signs locations for my run for Ferguson City Council, which was unsuccessful, but at least I got some exercise. Never once did I have an unpleasant encounter with a motorist. TrailNet's focus on bike lane stripes both reduces road safety for competent cyclists like me, while giving novice cyclists a false sense of security. It's the wrong approach, and I urge you to oppose it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Robert Mick, followed by Karen Carabao.
Hello. I'm here to talk about spring and the bike thing. Let's hope spring gets here much quicker. I'm a bicyclist. I think it's saved my life, getting me exercise. I drive a car, but I think I walk and cycle to work constantly. And I don't see the advantage of bike lanes and things like that. Like Martin had said, they tend to bring you a false sense of security and a restriction. I found that when I'm on the road and with the traffic, I mean, right now, I have just as much right to be in the middle of the lane as anybody. I take advantage of that when it's possible. I'm as courteous as I can to be to motor vehicles because I do drive a motor vehicle too. And I like it like that, you know. We're people, we're working together. Most bicyclists ride cars, and they understand it. I wish more people who drive the cars would see it from the other perspective. Slow down, hug the line a little, give them room. You know, we don't mind you passing close. You know, we understand the dangers. I spent a little while under a Ford Taurus going down the road, losing some of my bones. But, you know, it's dangerous out there. But lanes aren't necessarily the need. You know, I have the right to be on the road and to use it, and I do use it constantly. I think I ride to work on my bike or walk more than I drive. Just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Karen Carabell, followed by Eric Cochran.
I'm Karen Carabell. As you know, I teach safe traffic cycling and stood before you last week. As you also know, I am opposed to your Complete Streets bill. Why did I come back? I want to offer you some history about TrailNet, the organization that has been diligently working for your support of this bill. For years now, TrailNet has been vilifying the St. Louis County Department of Highways and Traffic. They've even managed to cast national aspersion upon the department's public information spokesman. TrailNet did this because Highways and Traffic refused to buy their mantra that segregated on-road facilities are the way to encourage people to choose bicycling. Years of experience have taught us that segregation does not work. That's because separate but equal is always separate but never equal, and sometimes dangerous. Just 2 days ago in Los Angeles, early Sunday afternoon, in broad daylight, a cyclist was killed by a motorist. The cyclist was a prominent 65-year-old attorney for the entertainment industry, and he was riding in a bike lane. The motorist was a sheriff's deputy, driving on routine parole at normal speed. Google it. This keeps happening. It is incredible that people who should know better are still pushing bike lanes and cycle tracks for bicycle transportation. Complete Streets is touted as a green initiative. It is not. It creates traffic jams. It adds bureaucracy that cripples the effectiveness of your engineers, and it increases costs, which result in fewer projects, more unmet needs, and more traffic jams. Green? There is an easier way. We now know how to teach anyone how to ride anywhere safely, as Martin alluded to. We know how to teach them safely, how to do this safely, courteously, and with ease. We teach these skills at a fraction of the cost of even the cheapest infrastructure improvement. We have 6 St. Louis area Cycling Savvy instructors, and we've offered Cycling Savvy for 2 years now. I invite TrailNet to take advantage of Cycling Savvy training. I invite this council to do the same. Join us on your bicycles, have fun in our workshops, and experience the epiphany, and it is an epiphany, of safe traffic cycling. So what's our vision? What's the vision of people who have discovered how to cycle safely anywhere? We believe that you will hop on your bicycles when you truly know how to be safe, when you feel welcome and respected on our roadways, and when you are not dependent on special infrastructure to go where you want to go. We all desire civility and safe passage on our roads, but your Complete Streets bill will not advance these ideals. Please don't muck up St. Louis County roads with mandates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Eric Cochran, followed by Stephanie Brott.
My name is Eric Cochran. I'm the Director of Curriculum and Student Programs for Lindbergh Schools, and I'm here to speak to you tonight about the proposed revisions to the event permit and signage ordinances. And of course, we at Lindbergh Schools would appreciate a positive vote from you on these changes. Let me start also by saying that I appreciate your past support and the support of your staff, who've been very responsive to the concerns of our parent groups, our student groups, our community groups. You've been very responsive, and like I said, I would appreciate taking this the next step and getting it passed. For our student groups, of which we have many that add to the education of our students, to require, as we do currently, up to potentially $100 for event permits and signage permits, really precludes the use of these fundraisers and will just discourage these from taking place when you're only making about $150 out of a lot of these groups. So as I said, I appreciate the past support, appreciate future support, hopefully, and anything you can do for the students of our district and other districts in the St. Louis County are greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Stephanie Brott, followed by Chuck Avery.
Good evening.
Nice to see you, Stephanie.
Nice to see you too, Kathy. I'm Stephanie Brote. I live at 8145 Cornell Court, proudly in University City, a city which just had its council pass biking and pedestrian improvements to be included in our comprehensive plan. We pride ourselves on being very liberal and doing the right thing in University City, but I see that Clayton has passed the Complete Streets program before us, and I will be working to see it get passed in University City. Recently, I chaired a fundraiser called Bike the Tree Walk. U City now has tree walks where you can walk around in all of our parks and see several of the trees designated as native, or just giving you their name and you can learn all about them. Several people, many of my friends, said no one wants to bike, especially if you have to ride 2 or 3 miles. Well, we had 36 riders and we had such a great time. We combined it with a progressive dinner. We earned lots of money towards helping replace the diseased trees and the older trees. It was a very great day, and I think it'll be an even better day if you vote for Complete Streets here in St. Louis County. One final thing, my husband and I went on a Road Scholar, used to be called Elder Hostel, but we don't want to be called old anymore. And Road Scholar took us to Vancouver, Canada. It was fantastic watching all the bikers, and I loved the major streets that did have designated bike paths, and they were physically set off from the driving part. And the buses all very nicely put down their entrance, and I saw the bikers get in and fix their bikes safely so they wouldn't hurt anybody while they were in the car. We too can do that throughout the county, and I'm sure, though I disagree with this nice group that just spoke, we will be much better off when we have bicyclists, pedestrians, and people riding Metrolink all over our county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Chuck Avery, followed by Charles Wilbur.
Good evening. I just wanted to say I live here in the county. I'm a bicyclist. I have been biking for over 20 years, and generally I'm on my bike at least 3 or 4 days a week, and that amounts to thousands of miles a year. I've been very fortunate, I'm retired now, in that I've been able to go to different cities around the country and ride my bike in different cities that have bike infrastructure and they have bike lanes. And it's really interesting to me to see how both the motorists and the bicyclists have learned to work with each other and respect their space. So I strongly believe that bicycling is a good form of transportation. I think that it would be nice if you could decide to go somewhere in the county or the city and have bike routes with bike lanes or bike trails. And so obviously I'm here to urge you to support Complete Streets. One thing that I think we've all talked about, all the bicyclists that have gotten up here, is it is a real concern how dangerous it can be. And there is nothing like having a large SUV inches from your hip as you're trying to pedal. Most of the people that I know that don't ride bicycles have said to me that is the major problem for them, is they would like to ride bikes, but they're just scared to do it. And let's face it, in a lot of times it makes sense to be scared. So we're all here advocating for what we think is the safest way to get people out riding bicycles. I would advocate the use of trail systems and bike lanes. I mean, from my experience, in a lot of different places, it can work and it does work. So I would urge you to support the Complete Streets. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Charles Wilbur, followed by Andy Heaslett.
My name's Charles Wilbur. I live in the unincorporated county in the Afton area down near Gravois and Weber. I'm here to advocate for complete streets. I've been a bike commuter for about 2 years, going from my home down to our office near Lindbergh and 270. So part of my commute was on county roads, then part of it was on Grants Trail, and then back onto county roads and into a subdivision. My feeling is I could not get off those roads onto that trail fast enough to get away from the cars and the crazy drivers. As far as education goes, I went and took a safety class on how to take the lane and how to be safer. That helped. I will still take a bike lane over taking the lane any day because I would rather be separated from the giant SUV than have him sitting behind me, misgauging how fast he's going and bearing down on my back wheel. The other thing I wanted to point out is that my wife and I are also avid walkers, and often, since I'm biking for transportation or we're walking to the store, we live halfway between two different schnooks. One's down Gravois toward Grasso Plaza, the other's down Gravois right at Hampton in the city. And when we walk on a grocery run, we always go to the one in the city. Always. The final approach, the final couple of blocks to get there once we're actually in the city is so much more passable. We've got the River to Pear Trail right there and wide sidewalks that lead right into that Schnucks. Going to the other one, if you're walking, you've got nothing. You're going over grass half the time. So that's my sales tax money going into the city instead of the county every time we walk to go grocery shopping because we're going to the city one instead of the county one, even though they're equal distance from our house. So I thought I would point that out. And I think that's about all I had to say, so thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Andy Heaslett, followed by Lisa Panett.
Greetings, it's an honor to address you. Thank you for the opportunity. My name's Andy Hazlett. I'm an employee of Washington University, although I'm speaking on my own behalf as an individual. And I am also a resident of the city of St. Louis, but I thought I'd bring you some perspective as a entrepreneur and a small business owner. I recently sold a delightful business called Griffin Delivery. It's a bike-based restaurant delivery service. And I was responsible for delivering food from restaurants to various customers throughout the region. And that meant I made my living for the past 3 years, and I helped facilitate people making their livings via bicycles in the city of St. Louis for the last 3 years. And I'll tell you simply and clearly that I prefer, and my riders also preferred, riding on complete streets and those with protected bike lanes and facilities. While it's important to know how to ride under all conditions, I very simply want to state that this is good policy, and I'd like you to support it as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Final speaker is Lisa Panett.
Okay, first I'd like to just address you with the Church Coalition, just like the other man did about the non-for-profits. First and foremost, that I'll be short and sweet with that. Stop taxing them. You're taxing them with your event fees, the signage fees. Quit going after the churches and non-for-profits. Now that's done with my Church Coalition. Now I'm going to speak to you as a citizen. You guys basically addressed the media and said that no one came out against the complete streets, that everyone was for it when this began. And that's not true. And I'm not sure if you guys just aren't educated enough to understand when people are speaking to you, if you don't read these bills, what it is. The Complete Streets Ordinance is in the sustainability plan, which I have addressed you on multiple occasions, saying, why are you guys for this? If you look at page 40, I have the plan. It's Complete Streets Ordinance. We are against this plan. Again, I would want to know, why are you putting in this plan things like forget the damn car? The damn car is what people in this room use to get to work and in St. Louis County, and people that don't show up for the 6 o'clock meeting, or by the way, aren't allowed to even sign. Somebody can't even sign somebody else in. That's the transparency that's going on here. That comes 15 minutes late. That's going to be here. cannot even sign in. That's the transparency that you guys have. Implementing the great streets means establishing no-car zones. Page 141 of the sustainability plan. And again, I'd like to know why you guys are advocating this plan, if any of you have even read it, and if so, I'd like to know, why are you supporting it? Give me a page number. Tell me what you're supporting. Why are you supporting pages like 141, establishing no car zones? Why are you implementing things that the people have not elected you to do this, to attack their cars, going to work? They just want you out of their lives. That's what they want, okay? So if you guys don't know, this is what the people of St. Louis County want. They want more freedom from you guys, and they want you to stay out of their lives, okay? And this plan with billions of dollars also goes into your, I know there's people on here that have touted their great CPA skills. Awesome. You won't need to audit this one. This is gonna cost billions with a B dollars. And how are you gonna get that money? You guys aren't addressing any questions. People come up here, they ask you questions. Never are the questions addressed. At what point are you gonna answer a question like why you are for this plan? What page are you for? Have you even read the plan? Or is this gonna be like Obamacare where we have to pass it to see what's in it? That's all I have to say.
Is that it, Jen?
Yes, ma'am.
That concludes the public forum. We will now move to introduction of bills.
Bill number 307, introduced by Councilmember Burkett, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to accept a grant of up to $225,000 from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, appropriating the amount of up to $75,000 for support of the Tuberculosis Outreach Services Program, and authorizing the county executive to execute necessary documents. Bill number 308, introduced by Councilmember Burkett, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to accept a grant of up to $605,000 from the St. Louis County Children's Service Fund, appropriating the same for the Nurse Family Partnership Program, and authorizing the Director of Health to execute necessary documents. Bill number 309, introduced by Councilmember Burkett, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Hilltop Advent Christian Church for placement of tower, equipment, building, and related equipment and accessories for the emergency communications system. Bill number 310, introduced by Councilmember Burkett, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Correctional Medical Services, Inc., doing business as Jackson Institutional Dental Services, for provision of dental services at the county health centers and the Buzz Westfall Justice Center. Bill number 311, introduced by Councilmember Burkett, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute contracts with Union Electric, doing business as Ameren, Missouri, and Missouri American Water Company for placement of tower, equipment, building, and related equipment and accessories for the emergency communications system.
Excuse me a minute, Jen. On mine, I've got,
I believe that was a typographical error.
There was an error, so we just corrected the official
okay,
version.
all right, okay.
Bill number 312, introduced by Councilmember Quinn, an ordinance amending the St. Louis County zoning ordinance and the official zoning district maps by changing the boundaries of the NU non-urban district and the R3 residence district as provided herein, PC 30-13, Arbors at Merrimack Bluffs, LLC. Bill number 313, introduced by Councilmember Quinn, an ordinance authorizing and giving preliminary approval to a planned environment unit development of attractive land located in the R3 residence district, subject to conditions. PC 31-13, Arbors at Merrimack Bluffs, LLC. Madam Chair, that is all the bills.
Thank you. Perfection of bills.
Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Hold, please.
So ordered.
Bill number 234, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 276, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
At this time, I move to perfect bill number 276.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 276 is perfected.
Bill number 277, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect bill number 277.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 277 is perfected.
Bill number 278, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect bill number 278.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 278 is perfected.
Bill number 279, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect bill number 279.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 279 is perfected.
Bill number 280, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 280. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 280 is perfected.
Bill number 281, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 281.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 281 is perfected.
Bill number 282, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 282.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 282 is perfected.
Bill number 283, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 283.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 283 is perfected.
Bill number 284, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 284.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Bill number 284 is perfected.
Bill number 285, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 285.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 285 is perfected.
Bill number 286, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 286.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 286 is perfected.
Bill number 287, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 287.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 287 is perfected.
Bill number 288, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 288.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 288 is perfected.
Bill number 289, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 289.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 289 is perfected.
Bill number 290, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 290.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 290 is perfected.
Bill number 291, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 291.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 291 is perfected.
Bill number 292, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 292.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 292 is perfected.
Bill number 293, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 293.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 293 is perfected.
Bill number 294, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 294.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 294 is perfected.
Bill number 295, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 295.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 295 is perfected.
Bill number 296, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 296.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 296 is perfected.
Bill number 297, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 297.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 297 is perfected.
Bill number 298, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 298.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 298 is perfected.
Bill number 299, introduced by Councilmember Erby for Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 299.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 299 is perfected.
Bill number 300, introduced by Councilmember Erby for Councilmember Burkett.
I move to perfect Bill number 300.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 300 is perfected.
Bill number 301, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I'd like to take it up, move for perfection of Bill number 301.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 301 is perfected.
Bill number 302, introduced by Councilmember Erby for Councilmember Burkett.
At this time, I move to perfect Bill number 302.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill 302 is perfected.
Bill number 303, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
I move to perfect Bill number 303.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 303 is perfected.
Bill number 304, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
I move to perfect Bill number 304.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 304 is perfected.
Bill number 305, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
I move to perfect Bill number 305.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 305 is perfected.
Bill number 306, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
Please hold, and that will be the order. And for those of you in the audience wondering why we moved so quickly on, 22 of those bills were our annual budget. So, okay, final passage of bills.
Bill number 181, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
Holding.
Yes.
Please hold, and that will be the order.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 238, introduced by Councilmembers Dolan, Stanger, and Irby.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 270, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
At this time, I move for final passage of Bill number 270.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 270, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 270 is finally passed.
Bill number 271, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
At this time, I move for final passage of Bill number 271.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 271, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 271 is finally passed.
Bill number 272, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
I move for final passage of Bill number 272.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 272, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 272 is finally passed.
Bill number 273, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
At this time, I move for final passage of Bill number 273.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby? Aye. Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 273, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 273 is finally passed.
Bill number 274, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
At this time, I move for final passage of Bill number 274.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 274, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 274 is finally passed.
Bill number 275, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
I move for final passage of Bill number 275.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 275, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 275 is finally passed.
Moving on to resolutions, Madam Chair, we have 2 this evening. Resolution number 1, introduced by Councilmember Irby.
I move for adoption of resolution number 1.
Second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 1, there are 7 ayes.
Resolution number 1 is finally passed.
Resolution number 2, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move for adoption of resolution number 2.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Irby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution 2, there are 7 ayes.
Resolution number 2 is finally passed.
Moving on to unfinished business, item number 1, Second District.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 2, Second District.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 3.
hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 4.
Item number 4, the appointment of Mr. Robert J. Baer to the Board of Police Commissioner be approved as requested.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
I abstain with regard to Mr. Bear and vote yes with regard to Mr. Carr.
We brought him up separately.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so you're abstaining?
Yes.
On Mr. Baer. Okay.
Sorry about that, I'm reading.
Councilmember O'Meara?
Abstain.
Councilmember Dolan?
Abstain.
Councilmember Stanger?
Abstain.
Councilmember Quinn?
I'm concerned about the close relationship Mr. Baer has with John Temporiti, Mr. Dooley's campaign treasurer. Mr. Temporiti described this close relationship in a St. Louis Business Journal article published February 26, 2006. Mr. Temporiti has already been reported to be meddling in police board matters after the FBI was requested by the county police chief to conduct a probe of a contract awarded to a police board member. He reportedly contacted a police board member and asked him to resign. Mr. Temporiti said he had concerns about the county police chief. I think the police board is designed to be an independent board that runs the police department. I think Mr. Baer's ties to the Dooley administration, and particularly to Mr. Temporiti, could jeopardize the independence of the police board. We're trying now to restore the credibility of the county police board. I don't think that this appointment would do that, and I vote no.
The appointment of Mr. Baer, Madam Chair, there are 2 ayes, 1 no, and 4 abstain.
Okay, the motion does not carry. The appointment of Mr. T.R. Carr to the Board of, of Police Commissioners be approved as requested.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Burkett?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara?
I'm voting aye, but I'd also like to, our first vacancy was a commissioner from unincorporated St. Louis County, and I hope that we can fill a vacancy from unincorporated St. Louis County to that position, North St. Louis County. With that, aye.
Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn?
I think, well, first of all, I'm going to vote aye, but I think that really what we need to do in order to fill the rest of the positions on the police board is to have more consensus between the administration and the council, and I think we should work toward that. But on this particular appointment, I'll vote aye.
Madam Chair, on the motion to approve the appointment of Mr. Carr, there are 7 ayes.
The motion carries. And I would like to just make one statement, Councilmember Quinn. I've been on this council 11 years. I know you've been on quite a lot longer than I have. But in that entire time, I worked with Republican-controlled council and Democratic-controlled council and County Executive Westfall and County Executive Dooley, and it has always been at the pleasure of the county executive, these appointments to commissions. I also know that, and I'm sure you do too, that a lot of times we as members of this council are asked for recommendations to set on different boards and commissions. So I feel that we have been working very well the way we have, and I don't know how you can get any more consensus. The administration brings us their recommendations. You vote them up or you vote them down, which you did tonight. So I don't know how you expect any more consensus. Would you go ahead?
Madam Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to address, I respect the council, they want to stay in this business, but I'm going to address Councilman Quinn. He indicated that because someone's a friend of Charlie Dooley, that disqualifies them. That's insulting to me.
That's not what I said.
That's
I
what
said
you
he had
implied.
close
Mr.
ties
Quinn,
to-
you have been on this council for more than 20 years. You have the least knowledge about how this board functions. It is at the pleasure of the county executive. If you choose to vote them up or vote them down, that's your prerogative. But to say someone because they know me, they are unfit, that is untrue. You can ask anybody in this administration, you can ask the police chief. I have never, not one time, asked any favors from that police department. I would never do that. I've never been involved in any decision-making policies in the police department, and I think you know that. Now, why you said that statement you did, I do not know. But everything you said, for what you implied, is truly untrue. It's unfortunate you feel, you have a right to feel that way, but I have a right to tell you your feelings are wrong.
Well, I tell you another
No,
thing.
you can't tell me anything, Councilman,
Well, then I
because
will
you just
respond.
told an untruth with the statement you said. Because a person is a friend of Charlie Dooley's, he doesn't qualify.
I think we have a particular.
You don't think at all,
All right,
Councilman.
all right. Go ahead, council member, and
We
then
have
that
a,
will be
we
it.
have a rather unusual, unique situation here, and that is that the police board has gotten to a point that we have to have an FBI investigation. What we're trying to do is we're trying to restore credibility.
Sir, who's
to
the FBI
police board.
investigating?
Well,
Who
might
is
I
the
respond?
FBI investigating? What are you insinuating you have an FBI investigation?
There has been an
Who
investigation.
is the
called-
FBI investigating, Councilman?
I don't know, Charlie.
No,
I
you
think
don't
it's
know.
me.
So why would you talk about something that you have no knowledge
All
of,
right,
Councilman?
gentlemen, we need to move on. We need to
Christ's
move
sake.
on.
Item number 5.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'd be
Item
happy to
number
talk to the
5.
press afterwards.
I know you'd be happy to do anything.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Madam Chair, moving on to new business, we have 3 prepared orders this evening.
I move for adoption of orders number 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Orders 1, 2, and 3 are adopted. The last order is the one that announces that the meeting next week on the 17th of December will be held at 3 o'clock p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second. So we are adjourned.
you.